Imagine you're working in a company where hundreds of people are using Snowflake. Should everyone have access to every database, every table, every piece of data? Obviously no. A data engineer may need to create tables and manage warehouses. A data analyst may only need to read specific data. A finance user only need to access financial information. So, how do we control who can access what in a Snowflake? This is where roles and access control comes into picture. So, hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel, Professor M. This is 7th episode of our Snowflake series. In today's episode, we are going to understand how Snowflake uses roles to control accesses. So, let's get started. Before we go into individual roles, let's first understand the basic classification. In a Snowflake, roles are mainly divided into two types. The first type is system-defined roles. These are the roles that are already provided by Snowflake. They come with predefined privileges and are used to manage different activities inside Snowflake account. For example, account admin, security admin, user admin, sysadmin, and public. The second type is custom roles. These are the roles created by administrators based on organization's requirement. For an example, data engineer, data analyst, developer, or finance. The main purpose of custom roles is to give user only the access they need for their job. So, in a simple word, system-defined roles are provided by Snowflake, while custom roles are created by organization. Now, let's see how roles are connected with each other. Now, let's look at the Snowflake role hierarchy. This diagram shows how different roles are connected and how responsibilities are divided. At the top, we have org admin. Org admin works on organization level, mainly for managing multiple Snowflake accounts within organization. Below that, we have account admin. Account admin is the high-level administrative role within a Snowflake account. It has access to account-level administrative, security, resources, and other important settings. From account admin, we have two important areas. On one side, we have security admin. Security admin mainly focus on security and access control, such as managing roles, granting or revoking privileges like that. Under security admin, we have user admin, which mainly deals with creating and managing users and roles. On the other side, we have sysadmin. Sysadmin mainly focus on Snowflake resources and data objects, such as warehouses, databases, schemas, tables, and views. Under sysadmin, organization can create their own custom roles. For an example, data engineer, data analyst, developer, or any other roles required by organization. There is one more role called public. Public is automatically available to every user in Snowflake. You can think public as a common role for everyone. For an example, if privilege is granted to public, then all user can access that object, depending on the privilege that was granted. Now, the most important concept here is role hierarchy. When the one role is granted to another role, the higher level role can inherit the privilege of the role below it. For an example, if data engineer is granted to sysadmin, sysadmin can inherit the privilege of data engineer. So the role hierarchy helps us to organize permission and manage access in structured way. Now that we understand the hierarchy, let's look at each important system-defined role one by one. Now we can start with system-defined roles. Let's start with account admin. Account admin is the highest level and most powerful role in a Snowflake. It sits above the other main administrative roles in the account. It combines the power of security admin and sysadmin. So it has very broad control over security, access, data, and resources. Because of this, account admin can manage the Snowflake account almost end-to-end. It also has full control over billing and cost traceability. Account admin can create and delete users and manage roles across the account. It can also control important resources such as warehouses and databases. It can configure account-wide security settings. Account admin can create and manage resource monitor to monitor and control credit usage as we discussed in the last video. Because account admin has so much power, we should limit how many people can have this role. So it is not meant to normal day-to-day work. So the simple way to remember it is Account admin means overall control of the Snowflake account. So now let's move to security admin. As the name suggests, security admin is the focus mainly on security and access control. It can create, modify, and manage roles. It can also grant and revoke privileges on objects across the account. So think of security admin as a gatekeeper. Its job is to help control who can access what. Another important point it is security admin automatically inherit user admin's capability by default. However, security admin does not normally manage things like billing and compute user resources. So the simple way to remember it is security admin is equal to security, roles, and access control. Next we have SYSADMIN. SYSADMIN is built mainly for data and resource related works. It can create and manage warehouses, which are the compute engine used to run queries and workloads. It can also create and manage database, schema, tables, and views. This is why sysadmin is often the home page for custom roles. For an example, roles such as data engineer or data analyst can be placed under sysadmin in the role hierarchy. One, one important point about resource monitor is that sysadmin can create them only when account admin explicitly grant the required privilege. So remember, sysadmin is equal to data object and Snowflake resources. So the next is user admin. User admin has a less responsibility compared to the roles we just discussed. Its main focus is user and role management. It can create, modify, and delete user accounts. It can also create and manage roles. And it can grant roles to the user who need them. User admin mainly manage user and roles. It does not control what those roles can actually do. For an example, user admin can assign a data analyst role to the user, but deciding what data that role can access is mainly part of privilege and access management. So the simple way to remember it is user admin is equal to managing users and control the roles. So finally we have public. Public is different from the other system defined roles. Every user automatically has public roles. It does not have special administrative privilege by itself. It only gets the privilege that explicitly granted to it. If access to the object is granted to public, that access can be available to all users. This is why public is important from security point of view. In real project, a common mistake is that people forget public exists and accidentally leave the account access open. So always check the privilege has been granted to public. The key point is public is automatically available to every user. So we need to be careful about what we granted to it. Now that we understand the main system defined roles, let's move to custom roles. So the first point, custom roles are created by administrators according to the organization's requirement. Unlike system defined roles, these roles are not provided by Snowflake. The organization create the based on their own business and requirement. Custom roles are used to provide specific access to the user based on their job responsibilities. For an example, data engineer may need to different access compared to the data analyst or finance user. So we can create roles based on their actual needs. Third point, administrators can grant or revoke privilege from custom roles whenever required. For an example, if data engineer role need to access to a new table, we can grant the required privilege, and when that access is no longer needed, we can revoke it. This makes access management easier and more organized. Point 4. Custom roles can be assigned to the multiple users who need similar access. For an example, the 10 data engineers need the same access. We can create one data engineer role and assign it to all 10 users. We don't have to manage the same permissions separately from every user. Point number 5. Custom roles can be included in the role hierarchy. This means the custom role can inherit privilege from the other roles when the roles are connected to the hierarchy. For an example, data engineer role can be placed under sysadmin. This helps us build a clear structure for managing access. Point number 6. Finally, some common examples of the custom roles are there: data engineer, data analyst, developer, finance, and marketing. The exact roles can be different for every organization. They are created based on the responsibilities and access requirement of different teams. So, in simple words, custom rules can help organization give the right access to the right user based on the responsibilities. Today, we have focused on understanding the concept of roles and access control. In the upcoming episode, we will take this concept into practical implementation. We will create roles, assign roles to the user, grant and revoke privileges, see how the new role hierarchy actually works in Snowflake. So you finally not only understand the concept, but you will also see how we can use in the real Snowflake environment. And with that, we have covered the main concept of Snowflake roles and access control. That's all for today's episode. I hope you have now clear understanding of Snowflake roles and access control. We covered system-defined roles, the role hierarchy, and custom roles. And remember, this is just a conceptual part. In upcoming episode, we will see all of this practical in a Snowflake, including creating roles, assigning role to the user, managing privileges. So make sure you follow the series for practical implementation. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next episode of our Snowflake series. Thank you very much.